All right, classifying triangle congruences. Okay, so triangle congruences, this is a triangle obviously, and this means congruent. Okay, we have a few different ways we can do that. So one, we have if all sides are equal, and that's side, side, side. Okay, make a little chart here. Okay, so if all sides are equal, then we would have two triangles where we'd have an equal side there, equal side there, and the third equal side with, we put 3 hash marks. Now those could be rotated. They don't have to be aligned like how they are. In other words, you could have one that was like this, okay, that's still congruent, but not necessarily looking in the same orientation. Whoops, that should be single. Okay, so those would be side, side, side congruence. Okay, now we also have side, angle side, and that's side, angle side, SAS. Okay, and that's going to be when we have, whoops, that's not a very good triangle. Okay, so if we have sides, and then an angle, and then another side, okay, that's side, angle, side. The angle has to be between what I say is the alligator jaws. Okay, that's like your alligator here. Okay, and it's like an alligator that's facing this way. I know I'm a really terrific artist, and so this is my alligator. It's coming down, and there's its eyeball, the teeth. Okay, and that angle has to be like the alligator's tongue. It's got to be in between the alligator's jaws. Okay, so real important, side angle side has to have side, the angle between, and then another side. Okay, and we also have angle, side, angle, angle, side, angle. Okay, so angle, side, angle, and I'll draw one upside down just to show it doesn't have to be the same orientation. Angle, side, angle, they have to be right in a row. Okay, so if this other one was angle, side, angle, that would not be equivalent to the congruent to the other triangle. They have to be lined right up. Angle, side, angle. Okay, so that's when you would have a congruence there. Okay, so make sure the angle side angles are lining right up. Okay, and it looks like actually when we look at it, it should be, let's see, my mistake there. It should be angle, side, angle. Okay, just looking at the corresponding sides there. Okay, so that's one of them. Our other congruence we're going to talk about today is uh, angle, angle, side. Angle, angle, side. Okay, and that's going to be like this. So again, it's got to go in successive corners. So angle, angle, and then the next one has to be our side. Okay, it could not be angle, angle, and then skip a side if we were going in this direction. Okay, if it went the other direction, if we were going from this angle up here to that angle and then this side, that would work. Okay, so we could do it in that way. It's just got to be all successive. Okay, so angle, the next angle, and then the next side. So if we did it that way, we could say this angle, the very next angle, and then the very next side. And that would give us our congruence. Okay, so that's our chart. Okay. So we're going to talk about now if we had, let's say they wanted us to find side, side, side. Okay, and we had two triangles, and they were named A, B, C, and D, E, F. Okay, and let's say we knew AB was congruent to DE, BC was congruent to EF, and they want side, 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 and they're going to say, name the third congruence to make it side, side, side. Okay, so name the third congruence. Okay, well, to have it be side, 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 we would need this third side equal. So if I said side AC would have to be congruent to, now how would I name it? If I said AC, that's going from this corner, notice that corner touches the side with one hash mark. Okay, so it's touching the side with one hash mark and three hash marks. Could I start and say FD? Okay, is that exactly the same? It's not, right? It's specifying the same side, but when I start at F, it's actually touching the side with two hash marks. Okay, we want it to touch the side with one hash mark. Okay, so it does matter how you name it, even though that's specifying the same side. We want to start where there's a single hash mark. Okay, so we're going to start, it's like a train. The train starts at this depot. Here, D goes across to F. We want to have it look the same going that same way. A to C, D to F. Okay, so that would be our congruence statement for that. Okay, now what if they give us a different one? Okay, so let's say they wanted side, angle, side. Okay, so I'm going to draw them upside down. Okay, and we'll call it A, B, C, and D, E, F. Okay, so side, angle, side. Let's say they gave us side AB, congruent to DE, and then side AC, okay, and side AC, we're going to say that's equivalent to DF, okay? So the angle that I need for side, angle, side has to be between my sides. Remember the alligator? It has to be this here. There's three ways we could name that. You could say that's angle A, and it's congruent to angle D. Okay. Another way to do it is say it's F. Think of a train. We start at train station F, F, D, E, triangle or angle F, D, E, congruent to. Now we got to go the same way, right? If we were this train, we started on F, we went across the double hash marks. Excuse me. So we started depot F, went across two hash marks, the angle, and then one hash mark. So we're going to have to hit the two hash marks first. That would mean we start at C, two hash marks, one hash mark. So that's equivalent to angle C, A, B. Okay, now we could go the reverse route. We could start here at E, go E, D, F. Okay, and that is going across one hash mark, and then the angle, then two hash marks. So if I did that, that would be equivalent to, here I need the one hash mark first, B to A, then A to C. Okay, so that's 3 ways to name an angle. And it's important, it always works to name it with 3 letters. It doesn't always work to name it with 1 letter, because you can have a situation where if this line extended, okay, and this, let's say this was um, G. Okay, well, if I say now angle D, am I referring to this angle here, to the right, or to the left? Okay, we would never know. If you specify 3 letters, that will always give you your exact angle. Okay, so it's best to specify with 3 letters. All right, let's do a couple others. Okay, so let's say they want angle, side, angle. And here are our triangles. And we'll do it easy. We'll just make them aligned. A, B, C, D, E, F. Okay, so angle, side, angle. If they told us we had angle here, side, the other angle would have to be is this next one. Okay, so we'll leave that. Well, actually, let's go here. So they say these two are equal, right? For angle, side, angle, the only way that one would work, okay, is in fact what we talked about, angle B congruent to angle E. You could not do C and F because that's not the shortest route. If we went C and then that side and then A, okay, it's not the shortest route. The shortest route would be angle, angle, side. Okay, it's got to be the shortest possible route. Okay, and so the shortest possible route to get angle, side, angle, the only acceptable way is looking at angle B and angle E. Again, if we name that, that would be B, angle B is congruent to angle E, but it's better to use the 3 letters, okay? So we're looking at, we want this angle, so we got to start away from it, and then go to it, and then away from it. So angle FED would be congruent to CBA. Oops, I gotta write the angle marker. Okay, or we could say the other way, DEF, referring to this angle, is congruent to angle ABC. Notice angle B, right? And angle B ended up on the right here, but notice it's always in the center. Center. Okay, angle E in the center. Okay, that's always going to be, when you name it with 3 letters, it's always going to end up in the center. Okay. All right, one more. All right, and our final one we need is angle, angle, side. And draw them different. Okay. So let's say angle, angle, side. If they said angle A is congruent to angle D, and then they go to the next angle, angle E, congruent to angle C. Angle, angle, side. That's going to have to go angle, angle, and then this next side. Angle, angle, this next side. Okay, so that side, okay, we have EF congruent. Now EF, that's starting at my double arced angle, this one here. So that means I have to start here, my double arced angle. And then EF goes across the single hash mark. So I'm going to go from C to B. Okay, that's my congruence statement. Right, and that is naming triangles for congruences. And there's only one other thing we need to talk about, and that is when there are hidden congruences. Okay, so hidden congruences, there's two instances that come up a lot. Okay, so one of them is what's called the bow tie problem, because it looks like a bow tie. Okay, and that doesn't, those triangles, let's see if I can make them look a little more equal. That's a little bit better. Okay, so again, they don't look exactly equal, but doing my best there. Okay, so A, B, C, D, E. Okay, and let's say that they tell us angle A, okay, is congruent to angle D. Okay, so and then that's the only thing they give us. You say, well, we can't find, and they want us to get angle side angle. Okay. Okay, well, angle A can't and is congruent to angle D. There is a hidden congruence here, and the hidden congruence is these kissing angles. Okay, are vertical angles. That angle is vertical with that one there. So those, what we learned last couple lessons ago is that vertical angles have to be congruent. So this angle has to be congruent to that one. So that's given just by this way the problem's set up. So there's only 1/3 congruence we have to name, okay, and that is that this piece here will be congruent to the piece below. So if we call it AC, that's going from the green single arc across the single arc to the double arc. That means we'd have to start up here at D and go to C. Okay, that would mean those are named correctly. The same pieces, the trains are traveling the exact same way. From the green arc across the single to the red. From the green arc across the single hash mark to the red. Okay, now there's one other special problem. Okay, and that one is referred to as a tent problem. The tent problem is going to be like this. Okay, and there's actually two special things here. So that's a right angle. We know that a line is equal to how many degrees? 180 degrees. So if this right angle is there, that means that side's 90 degrees. So without even saying, you can go and fill that in. That other side has to be 90. Okay. Now if this one, let's say they want side angle side. Okay. So there's a hidden congruence here, and that's that this side is shared in my right triangle, the triangle on the right side, and the triangle on the left side, in this case, my blue triangle and my green triangle. Okay, they share that middle side. So the middle side has to be congruent to itself. Okay, so we can say that middle side is congruent to itself, and we don't need to mark that, that's just a known fact. We also know that these angles are congruent. Again, that's a known fact because one of them's 90, the other side has to be 90, okay, if it's a straight line. Okay, so to get side angle side, we're going to need this bottom side to be equal. Okay, because side angle side, right, it's like an alligator. We have the jaws, and in the middle has to be our angle. So if I name it, oh yeah, so if we look here, right, side angle side. Okay, so the hidden or the congruence we need to name is this black one at the bottom, and that's a side congruence. So that we could say DC is congruent to. Now DC is starting at the 90-degree angle and going away from it. So we're going to have to start at the 90-degree angle, go away from it on the left side. So that would be A. Okay. All right, those are your notes for finding congruences um, and finding congruent triangles.